Good evening. I hope you're ready for this chapter. It's a big one. It's a doozy. Not only is it a long chapter, but there's a lot in it. And we're continuing in the life of Abimelech. And this was the son of Gideon with his concubine. And so a lot is going on. He is never called a judge, though he does set himself up as in a way they set him as a king. um, and there's a lot of violence and lots of other things going on. So we're going to get right into this chapter as we got a lot to cover. And before we do, we'll ask the Lord to open thou mine eyes that I may behold wondrous things out of thy law. Psalm 119, verse 18. And let's dive right in. Judges chapter 9, verse 1. And Abimelech the son of Jerubbaal went to Shechem unto his mother's brethren, and communed with them and with all the family of the house of his mother's father, saying, Speak, I pray you, in the ears of all the men of Shechem, whether is better for you, either all the sons of G.R.O.W, which are 70 persons, reign over you, or that one reign over you. Remember also that I am bone and your flesh. I am your bone and your flesh, like I am your family. And his mother's brethren spake of him in the ears of all men of Shechem all these words, and their hearts inclined to follow Abimelech, for they said, He is our brother. And they gave him 70 pieces of silver out of the house of Bel-berith, wherewith Abimelech hired vain and light persons which followed him. So he hired these people. He went unto his father's house at Ophrah and slew his brethren, the sons of Jerubbaal, being 70 persons upon one stone. Notwithstanding yet Jotham, the youngest son of Jerubbaal, was left, for he had hid himself. And all the men of Shechem gathered together, and all the house of Milo, and went and made Abimelech king by the plain of the pillar that was in Shechem. And when they told it to Jotham, he went and stood in the top of Mount Gerizim, and lifted up his voice, and cried, and said unto them, Hearken unto me, ye men of Shechem, that God may hearken unto you. The trees went forth on a time to anoint a king over them, and they said unto the olive tree, Reign thou over us. But the olive tree said unto them, Should I leave thy fatness, wherewith by me they should honor God and man, and go to be promoted over the trees? And the tree said to the fig tree, Come thou and reign over us. But the fig tree said unto them, Should I forsake my sweetness and my good fruit, and go to be promoted over the trees? Then said the trees unto the vine, Come thou and reign over us. And the vine said unto them, Shall I leave my wine, which cheereth God and the man, and go to promote it over the trees? Then said all the trees unto the bramble, Come thou and reign over us. And the bramble said unto the trees, If in truth ye anoint the king over you, then come and put your trust in my shadow. And if not, let fire come out of the bramble, and devour the cedars of Lebanon. Now therefore, if ye have done truly and sincerely in that ye made Abimelech king, and if ye have dealt well with Jerubbaal and his house, and have done unto him according to the deserving of his hands, for my father fought for you, and adventured his life far, and delivered you out of the hand of Midian. And ye are risen up against my father's house this day, and have slain his sons, 70 persons upon one stone, which is 70 people, and have made Abimelech, the son of his maidservant, king over the men of Shechem, because he is your brother. If ye then have dealt truly and sincerely with Jerubbaal, and with the house of this day, then rejoice ye in Abimelech, and let him also rejoice in you. But if not, let fire come out from Abimelech, and devour the men of Shechem and the house of Milo, and let fire come out from the men of Shechem and from the house of Milo, and devour Abimelech. And Jotham ran away and fled, and went to Beer, and dwelt there for the fear of Abimelech his brother. When Abimelech had reigned 3 years over Israel, then God sent an evil spirit between Abimelech and the men of Shechem. And the men of Shechem dealt treacherously with Abimelech, that the cruelty done to the 70 sons of Jerubbaal might come, and their blood be laid upon Abimelech their brother, which slew them, and upon the men of Shechem, which aided them in the killing of his brethren. And the men of Shechem set liers in wait for him in the top of the mountains, and And they robbed all that came along the way by them, and it was told Abimelech. And Gaal the son of Ebed came with his brethren, and went over to Shechem, and the men of Shechem put their confidence in him. And just a little insight here. The story of Abimelech's father, Gideon, began with God calling him as a deliverer, but God is not even mentioned in Abimelech's story until God creates division that would result in Abimelech's downfall. Gideon was appointed by God, but Abimelech appointed himself. The consequences of a self-imposed leader were disastrous. Continuing in verse 27, and they went out into the fields and gathered their vineyards and trode the grapes and made merry and went into the house of their God and did eat and drink and cursed Abimelech. And Gaal the son of Ebed said, Who is Abimelech and who is Shechem that we should serve him? Is not he the son of Jerubbaal and Zebul, his officers, of the men of Hamor, the father of Shechem? For why should we serve him? And would to God this people were under my hand, then would I remove Abimelech. And he said to Abimelech, Increase thine army and come out. And when Zebul, the ruler of the city, heard the words of Gaal the son of Ebed, his anger was kindled. And he sent messengers unto Abimelech privily, saying, Behold, Gaal the son of Ebed and his brethren be come to Shechem, and behold, they fortify the city against thee. Now therefore up by night, thou and the people that is with thee, and lie in wait in the field. And it shall be that in the morning, as soon as the sun is up, thou shalt rise early and set upon the city. And behold, when he and the people that is with him come out against thee, then mayest thou do to them as thou shalt find occasion. And Abimelech rose up, and all the people that were with him by night, and they laid wait against Shechem in 4 companies. And Gaal the son of Ebed went out and stood in the entering of the gate of the city. And Abimelech rose up, and the people that were with him from lying in wait. And when Gaal saw that the people, he said to Zebul, Behold, there come people down from the top of the mountains. And Zebul said unto him, Thou seest the shadow of the mountains, as if they were men. And Gaal spake again and said, See, there came people down by the middle of the land, and another company come along by the plain of Meoninnim. Then said Zebul unto them, Where is now thy mouth? Wherewith thou wouldst? Who is Abimelech, that we should serve him? Is not this the people that would hast despised go out? I pray now, and fight with them. And Gaal went out before the men of Shechem, and fought with Abimelech. And Abimelech chased him, and he fled before him. And many were overthrown and wounded, even unto the entering of the gate. And Abimelech dwelt at Arumah, and Zebul thrust out Gaal and his brethren, that they should not dwell in Shechem. And it came to pass on the morrow that the people went out in the field, and they told Abimelech. And he took the people, and divided them into 3 companies, and laid wait in the field, and looked, and behold, the people were come forth out of the city. And he rose up against them, and smote them. And Abimelech and the company that was with him rushed forward, and stood in the entering of the gate of the city. And the 2 other companies ran upon all the people that were in the fields, and slew them. And Abimelech fought against the city all that day. And he took the city, and slew the people that was therein, and beat down the city, and sowed it with salt. And when all the men of the tower of Shechem heard that, they entered into a hold of the house of the god Berith. And it was told Abimelech that all the men of the tower of Shechem were gathered together. And Abimelech got him up to the Mount Zalmon, and he and all the people that were with him. And Abimelech took an axe in his hand, and cut down a bow from the trees, and took it, or I should say bough, and laid it on the shoulder, and said unto the people that were with him, What ye have seen me do, make haste and do as I have done. And all the people likewise cut down every man his bough, and followed Abimelech, and put them to the hold, and set the hold upon the fire, put them, so that all the men of the tower of Shechem died also, about 1,000 men and women. Then went Abimelech to Thebez, and encamped against Thebez, and took it. But there was a strong tower within the city, and thither fled all the men and women, and all they of the city, and shut to them, and gat them up to the top of the tower. And Abimelech came unto the tower, and fought against it, and went hard unto the door of the tower to burn it with fire. And a certain woman cast a piece of a millstone upon Abimelech's head, and all to break his skull. Then he called hastily unto the young man his armor-bearer, and said unto him, Draw thy sword and slay me, that men say not of me, A woman slew him. And his young men thrust him through, and he died. And when the men of Israel saw that Abimelech was dead, they departed every man unto his place. Thus God rendered the wickedness of Abimelech, which he did unto his father, in slaying his 70 brethren. And all the evil of the men of Shechem did God render upon their heads, and upon them came the curse of Jotham, the son of Jerubbaal. Wow, that's a lot and super sad, right? It's really, really sad that this has happened. So we see that Abimelech, the child from this concubine, ends up killing all his brothers, 70 brothers, and he hires these vain and light persons to follow him. And he made the Shechem guys, his other brothers, basically made him the king. And Jotham's parable is right on target. It likens their choice of a king of the trees. We read that in the very beginning. There was a parable that we talked about, and we talked about the trees and asking Bramble to reign over them. He points out how poorly they are treated in the house of Gideon, who had fought for them, and foretells their ruin. Why did Abimelech want his armor bearer to slay him? Because he didn't want to be known for a woman killing him. What a sad story. Through Gideon, his father, there was great rejoicing and praise for all God did through him. And unfortunately, his story is totally different. And everybody has a choice to make. Psalm 140 is the psalm we're reading today. The 6 psalms that we're going to read eventually here, they contain David's prayer for protection from those who would harm him, and as well as his testimony of the refuge he finds in God. So we'll read Psalm 140 today. Deliver me, O Lord, from the evil man. Preserve me from the violent man, which imagine mischiefs in the heart. Continually are they gathered together for war. They have sharpened their tongues like a serpent. Adder's poison is under their lips. Selah. Keep me, O Lord, from the hands of the wicked. Preserve me from the violent man who have purposed to overthrow my goings. The proud have hid a snare for me, and in cords they have spread a net by the wayside. They have set gins for me. Selah. I had said unto the Lord, Thou art my God. Hear the voice of my supplications, O Lord. O God, the Lord, the strength of my salvation. Thou hast covered my head in the day of battle. Grant not, O Lord, the desires of the wicked. Further not his wicked device, lest they exalt themselves. Selah. As for the head of those that compass me about, let the mischief of their own lips cover them. Let burning coals fall upon them. Let them be cast into the fire, into deep pits, that they rise not up again. Let not an evil speaker be established in the earth. Evil shall hunt the violent man to overthrow him. I know that the Lord will maintain the cause of the afflicted and the right of the poor. Surely the righteous shall give thanks unto thy name. The upright shall dwell in thy presence, and we will give thanks as unto the Lord. Exodus 15:13 is our memory verse. Thou in thy mercy hast led forth the people which thou hast redeemed. Thou hast guided them in thy strength unto thy holy habitation. Have a blessed day, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.